Good morning.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Jim Harper from Worcester, lead a church called Hope Church, and do quite a lot of work amongst the poor and homeless in this country, but also involved in some things overseas as well, which I guess we'll talk about.
So me and my wife have moved overseas and we've been sent by you guys, and it's been a really good process. We've learned lots. I want to commend this church because they've done an incredible job. So it'd be good just to talk a little bit about that this morning. So what's your experiences of cross-cultural mission?
I suppose over the years, I as a young man, I flew to Uganda and lived there for a little while. You know, as a 21-year-old or 20-year-old was just a mind-blowing, eye-opening experience, and it showed me that the world really, having sort of grown up in a small town for most of my life, finding myself in Africa was a very different experience. We've since then had a long-standing relationship with the guys there. In more recent years, then we've been involved in other places too.
See, you've sent us to the nations. Have you been involved in sending people before? What's that look like as a church?
We've not really sent anybody before. People have gone, and sometimes that's been good, and sometimes it's been they're going to go anyway, whatever we say, and so there's not much we could do about it. I think we've learned the difference between releasing people and sending people, and sometimes that's to do with the person. The relationship you have with the person, whether you just release them to go and bless them to go, but you're not really sending them. You have a relationship with, like yourselves, where we believe in you, you've been an elder here at the church, and we put all the weight behind you and sent you and feel the ongoing support of that sending.
Why is it important that we send people to the nation?
There's lots of things. You know, one of it is it's a biblical mandate, and so we do what Jesus told us to do, and he told us to go. That's probably the most important thing. Jesus himself went. He was a missionary and went. From there on in, the culture has been in Christendom that people go, and that's part of the message, part of what we're about. Secondly, I think need. We want to see the gospel go to the ends of the earth, and we want all peoples to hear the gospel. For us to do that, some people are going to have to go to some places where the gospel isn't very prevalent, and there are places where the gospel isn't even heard of, or there are like a handful of Christians in millions of people, in a city of millions of people.
So why is it important to send people well? What does that look like? Why is it important?
I think it's important to go through a process with the people that you're sending, because they're going to a situation that spiritually is going to be hard, physically is going to be hard, materially, financially is going to be difficult. It's a pressure cooker situation. Oftentimes, like in the situation of yourselves, it might be a couple on their own, and they're having to do a lot of what we do in community as a couple, and so their marriage needs to be strong. The prep for those people to go is really important.
We did the journey with you, and obviously we learnt, and we had a team around us, which has been really good. What things did you learn, or did you felt the team learnt on this journey?
Managing each other's expectations, and not taking that for granted. I think we use language like we're behind you, we're for you, and we go away feeling like you go away feeling like, great, they're going to give me all the money I need. Do you know what I mean? But actually breaking that down and saying, what does behind you look like and what does it mean, I think is important. You know, so for us it's been getting into the detail of, we will visit you once a year. We will make sure you've got an airfare to come home once a year. And we will make space in the church for you to get the church behind your mission and your vision, both with prayer, visitors and finance. But that all needs unpacking, and there's actually more to that in detail than you think. The Unreached Network have a spreadsheet that we can use that on first look of it, I was terrified by it, and it was overwhelming, but it became actually the backbone of our conversations and was very, very useful.
So we call it the pipeline, and it's really good. There's loads of different courses and things that you can go through that helps you prepare.
Yeah, so it took you guys through training. It helped us know the questions to ask, and it helped us clarify, as I say, the expectations of what's going to happen.
What things do you think are really, obviously you talked about finance and things, are there other things important that we get in place in sending?
Yeah, I think it's important that the church, it becomes part of the mission of the church. It needs to be beyond, these guys, this couple are doing a thing over there, and we'll have your photograph on our fridge or something. It needs to be a part of the mission, part of the vision of the church. And so, we've got to work here in this country, we've got to work in this town, we've got to work in this city, and we've got to work over there, and it's part of the whole mission, it's part of the whole vision. And so we've structured our vision around, we're wanting to start, church communities here and beyond. And so what you guys do overseas is part of what we are doing, beyond.
And obviously it costs to send people to the nations, costs quite a lot, doesn't it, really? Like, how do you deal with that as a church? What does that look like for you guys? And
it is expensive. God tends to pay for what he orders. So the money hasn't been, maybe it has for you, but it hasn't felt like an issue or a problem to me. We were clear about what, as a central church, from our budget, we are going to give to you, but equally we've seen God provide through individual supporters and so on and so forth. But it is expensive. It is a shock, to be honest with you, when you start looking at the costs of living, particularly in a context where you guys are, where it would be very difficult for you to get a job and much money. So you're talking about supporting your living, we're talking about supporting your language learning. So therefore it is expensive, but that's not been a thing that we've been stressed about or has been a problem for us, in that the money's come.
And I think in that, you're trusting God, aren't you? So faith is really important.
Well, I think it's very important that the people go with their faith. If you're going to go and you're kind of come running back to the church every 5 minutes because things aren't working out, then you've got to have built up some robust faith to go. We pray for you, we support you, but in the end, you are the ones on the front line. You are the ones doing that work. And if it's not a call of God on your life with your own faith, then probably you'd want to come home pretty quick. Okay,
so what does ongoing support look like? What does it look like for a church to keep supporting, and what's that like?
Because at the moment, I think it still feels relatively new, and there's an excitement and a buzz about it. I think there will probably be a challenge when it's ongoing, and I think the way to combat that, certainly how we're looking at it now, is to make sure you guys are around and encourage. I think the thing that we've perhaps not done as well at, that I'd like to get better at, is you guys do a regular prayer time. And I think the more people pray for you, and the more they own it. So I think encouraging individuals to sign up to, I think it's a half an hour, isn't it? At prayer time just puts you in front of people again. You've got to be in front of people, because people do forget.
And what does it look like overseas? So when you come and visit us, what does it look like? What you're trying to get hold of?
I think that's surprised me how important I felt that was. Initially I thought, do I need to go that often? The context where you're at, I knew very little about. And so seeing that context, feeling it, smelling it, touching it, was really important for me. It helps me to pray. It helps me to get people behind you. Seeing a context that is so unreached with the gospel was an eye-opener for me. I think you just come back with a fresh appreciation of the mission. And then as a leader, my job is to get others to rally to that. And to encourage others to be involved in that. So I think visiting is really important. Relationally and pastorally, people that are overseas are facing a lot, and they've got each other to talk to about it. So having other people that you can sit down and properly chat, how's your marriage, how are you doing, all of those things are essential. And you can't speak into a situation that you don't know. So it's really important that the relationship is there. A relationship with, you're working with others locally. It's good for us to know those people. It's good for us to have an ongoing relationship with those people. Because when it comes to then some of the tough decisions and oversight, and we want to speak in situations, we know it. They're friends. They're not just people that we don't know about. So what advice do I have for people that might want to go, I think preparation. I think know the call of God, test the call of God, have others involved in that process of testing the call of God. Sometimes people saying no, not yet, is God's providence. And so we've got to deal with that, and it's frustrating. Going through the training, broadcasts do quite a lot of training. There's a lot of training on the Unreached Network. The pipeline thing we've talked about has lots of training things. So do the training and be diligent with the training. In terms of advice I'd give to churches that may be at the beginning stages or wondering about sending people, do dig into the resources. As I say, the pipeline document was really helpful. I think be bold. I remember us challenging you guys on some personal stuff quite strongly, because those things are going to come up when you're overseas more so than they will in normal life here. So be bold, be diligent pastorally. Yeah, and I guess get captured with a vision for the nations. We can get so caught up with our vision here and what we're doing on the ground here and how many people are going to come on a Sunday and all of those sorts of things. And when you consider the gospel to the nations, some of that stuff does feel a bit irrelevant, so get caught up with a vision for the nations and make it a goal. We're gonna send, a prayer goal. God, would you raise up some people that we can send so that the gospel can go to the ends of the earth.
It's good. Thanks, Jim. Really good.